This category is very interesting because it weighs the most, but it is not mandatory. Let's say that you want to pursue a lead certification for your building and you have a gas station in the middle of the forest or a warehouse in a remote location. That means that you can try to pursue uh, this certification for your building. You can actually, you can do it. You can try to pursue, but you will not gain any points on this category. And this category itself, it weighs 16 points. All right, so what is the breakdown? The breakdown is you can just try to aim and gain all 16 points, which is the total amount of points for this category. Or you can break down those points and try to make those points in sensitive land protection, 1 point, high priority site, 2 points, surrounding density and diverse area, 5 points, access to quality transit, 5 points, bicycle facilities, 1 point, reduced parking footprint, 1 point, and electric vehicles, 1 point. Let's see how this can happen. This is basically the most desirable thing that can happen to someone who is trying to pursue a lead certification. That your project is actually within the boundaries of a lead for neighborhood development project. Can you always choose something like that? Probably no. But if that is the case, just to let you know, you will get those 16 points immediately. But for most of the cases that you don't have the ability to choose where your project will be located, then you're gonna try to work very hard on the documentation, trying to claim point by point. But this is the way to get those points immediately, 16 points, just by having your building in an area that is certified by LEED as a neighborhood friendly for LEED. This topic is one of the reasons why I really like LEED as an agency to certify buildings over different ones. Because it's pretty logical. Look at the picture, green and blue everywhere, which means you look at the picture, and if you are thinking as a lead professional, you see and you think, if I build there, maybe I will be putting in danger the animals in the zone, I will be putting in danger the water bodies within the boundaries of my project, or I can be putting at risk the people who are going to be living or working there because there is a chance of flooding. If you think in that way, that means that even though you don't memorize all the PDF regarding to sensitive land protection, you will be fine. Just think uh, as an environmental person, and everything will be fine. Hike historical site is under the category of transportation and location and will give you, as I said at the beginning of the presentation, 2 points. Uh, this is by putting a little bit of extra love. And the reason I'm saying this is because you're gonna, at the end, you're gonna be spending more money to make this happen. Why I'm saying this? You're gonna see why. Because there are three ways to get those 2 points. One is by restoring, another one is by researching, and the other one is by remediate. The three are. So I'm gonna start with remediate, which is basically you're gonna develop your project in a brownfield site. A brownfield site is a site where development is complicated by real or perceived environmental contamination. How you can prove something like that? You're gonna need to perform a phase two environmental site assessment. If the environmental site assessment tells you that uh, actually the site is dirty, so you're gonna clean it, which means you're gonna remediate it, and you're gonna give it to the standards, the federal standard agencies, and by doing that, you're gonna be healing the planet. You are taking a site that is toxic, and you're gonna make it safe for the people. And well, it's just a huge win for the environment, and of course, a huge win for you. That will be gaining those 2 points. Those 2 points can be get just by looking at what the government wants for investment in their communities. In the United States, you're going to look at EPA. There are other agencies that also do that. And for Canada, you're going to take a look at provincial level. At provincial level, you're going to take a look at CIP, Community Improvement Plan. If you take a look at those entities and you see what are the plans for the community, what are the plans for the zones, for the municipality, you're going to be able to know beforehand if you can or not claim those 2 points. So the basic idea, if you're going to be creating jobs, if you're going to be adding a service that is needed, or if you're going to be adding equity to the area, then you can count for those two extra golden points. For historic districts, is about restoring. So to get those 2 points, you don't gonna need to tear down everything or building brand new and making something very modern. Not everything is like that. There are some points where restoring is better than build from scratch. And this is one of the cases. When we make our best to preserve our heritage, lead recognize that and provide us with those 2 points for our project. So you want to make sure to have paper trail if you want that uh, this this grade pass for the lead reviewer. How you gonna do that? I made the investigation. So in the United States, you're gonna need to look at National Register of Historical Places, and in Canada, you're gonna need to look at the Directory of Federal Heritage Designation. You go there, you look at the maps, and then you see my building. If my building is inside the boundaries, if my building is out of the boundaries, no, there is nothing that I can do. If my building is inside the boundaries, now I'm gonna need to follow the guidelines in the zone. I'm gonna find out what is the heritage, what is the past there, and how my building needs to be done. But if I follow the guidelines and my building is located inside those boundaries, then that is where I can claim those 2 points.